Let's go, man.
Telling you, everyone who believes in the
Before we do this, I'm gonna show y'all what my algorithm is now.
With all the I don't think that
empire.
Actually,
I just found there's no sense
watching you, I am optimistic.
Right.
is
Oh,
the sun.
crap.
I'm just checking out this video.
All right. So
What happens if Donald Trump suddenly dies?
I learned this the hard way, so you don't have to.
Wow.
How to extract information out of people without them knowing.
Y'all ain't nothing but a bunch of booger-eating liars. Sitting out here saying you going back to the moon.
Here we go.
Girl, when'd you go the first time? And yes, sugar tits, I am one of those people that believe that we never went to the moon because I've done my research and it's out there. The evidence is out there. We never went to the moon, just like Katy Perry was never an astronaut because she never left here. And another thing, I went and looked at y'all's mission.
Wait a minute. Her teeth. Her teeth. Look at her top teeth and those vampire teeth.
What your path was going to be. Y'all ain't even landed on the daggum moon. You're doing a drive-by. It's like having a tour bus that's going to go by the moon and say, if you look out the window to your right, there's the moon that we never landed on. But hey, what's one more distraction to take your attention away from what's going on in the world? Gotta love that theater. So y'all can go ahead and start dropping your tits in my comment section.
Well, hey there, Petty Crocker. I just love your name. I mean, Betty Crocker, Petty Crocker. It's just such a cute little play on words. Anyway, I have to admit, I actually thought your post was satire.
I did too.
Because I do some satire of a MAGA woman. And you sounded as smart as I do when I do mine. But you know what? You research, so you must be smarter than my character that I play. Anyway, Petty, so when I was in first grade, they used to wheel that TV in. Just wheel it in. They weren't very big, black and white, because, I'm old. Anyway, we got to watch the moon landing happen. We did. It was a really big deal. And you know what? There weren't any conspiracy theories back in the day. So I do want you to know also that the earth is round, okay? And that Bigfoot is not real. Neither is the Loch Ness Monster. And even though I was convinced the Bermuda Triangle was going to suck up my plane when we flew over it. It wasn't. It didn't happen, and it wasn't real either. So I hope that helps. Have a great day.
Y'all ain't.
Watch this.
Now I like this guy right here. This looks like AI. I say everything look like AI.
There is no sound in space, and it gets very eerie, as you can tell in this clip. And pretty much what happens is sound needs a medium to pass through, and usually that's air here on Earth. There's no air in space, so in the vacuum of space, sound is not able to go anywhere. So in this, there's no sound. When these astronauts do these spacewalks, all they hear is their own suit rubbing against each other and things like that. And in space, if something huge blew up next to you, you literally would not hear it. You would just be able to see it. It's a crazy fact. Watch this.
I get it.
Your boy Bert Kreischer is back. Boom!
I'm gonna kick the shit out of you. Want to do it now? Yeah, take a shot, motherfucker.
Hey, get out of here.
Yeah, I'm a fucking citizen, you fat shithead. You're a nigger.
Oh,
You're a fucking nigger.
oh,
I'm gonna kick the shit out of you. Want to You do it now?
And I've learned how to win the debate on evolution in the first 5 minutes.
This will not go well.
Somebody says, do you believe in evolution? I say, well, what do you mean?
If that's what you do, it just seems like you're having trouble with context clues. I've never heard a single person ask that question and not mean evolution of the biological variety.
Are you talking about cosmic evolution, the origin of time, space, matter? I don't believe in that. With the Big Bang, we'll talk about that in a minute.
I think only creationists use this phrase. That said, it is no longer scientific consensus that space, time, and matter began with the Big Bang. That idea fell out of favor in the 80s with the advent of inflation. Thought you'd be keeping up with the science, Mr. Dinosaur.
Are we talking about chemical evolution? Because according to the Big Bang theory, the Big Bang, produced hydrogen and maybe some helium.
That's correct. About 3/4 of the atoms by mass were hydrogen, about 1/4 was helium, and then there were some trace elements left over.
Well, then how did we get all these other elements? You want me to believe uranium evolved from hydrogen?
Well, no. No one is asking you to believe that, because no one says that. To produce, say, uranium, you start with neutron stars, then smash them together. The crusts of neutron stars are essentially neutron-rich nuclei, so when they smash into each other, those nuclei end up grabbing extra neutrons and climbing up the periodic table via beta decay.
They'll say, well, you have fusion in stars. Yeah, but you can't fuse past iron very well.
So we agree fusion can get you up to iron. Is that chemical evolution? Anyway, like I said, the heavier elements are made via other mechanisms.
Number two, you got a chicken and an egg problem here, because you have to have the stars to make the elements and the elements to make the stars.
Not really. You need hydrogen to make stars, and you've already conceded that the mainstream scientific view accounts for the starting hydrogen and helium as coming from the Big Bang. Once you have stars made of mostly hydrogen and helium, the rest follows. What a trivial misunderstanding.
Stellar evolution, how did the stars form? Nobody's ever seen a star form. Scientists don't even have a clue how a star could form. No even good theories about star formation.
I don't know why we're using a quote from 1986. That was 40 years ago. I wasn't even alive yet. But anyway, the mainstream description of star formation developed over a few decades, but we can say that it was basically done by 1981, at least according to a review by Larson. Furthermore, the very same article where Hovind's quote comes from describes the modern view of how stars formed. The contention that the author was making in 1986 is that the view had 3 unresolved problems at the time: the energy loss problem, the angular momentum loss problem, and the frozen magnetic field problem. But none of these problems are considered problems anymore. They've all been resolved.
Fourthly,
now listen, I love these type videos. Let me bring my camera up for a second. I love these type videos, these particular ones, because, it's smart people that's actually debating or countering or whatever. Oh God, I got cat mad in my eye. Oh God. But I on the other hand, when I go, I'm not logical. I'm not deep. I'm not even trying to address their argument. I'm straight up ad hominem attacks.
There's going to have to be organic evolution. Life has to get started from non-living material. Nobody has a clue how that could happen.
Well, plenty of people have clues as to how that can happen, but I'm just a physicist, not an origins of life researcher, so I couldn't explain the best hypotheses right now. But fortunately, smart people like David Deamer have written handy articles that summarize the state of affairs of origins of life research, and the experimental evidence is quite substantial. Of course, some problems have yet to be explained, but that's because this isn't settled science yet. But to say that nobody has a clue how that could happen is just lying or ignorant.
Then we're going to have what's called macroevolution. That's where an animal changes to a different kind of animal.
Of course, Hovind would never define what a kind of animal is. He would just appeal to the intuition of a 5-year-old, because that's the level of cognition that this kind of science denial requires.
But nobody has ever seen a dog produce a non-dog.
Okay, and no one has ever seen the center of the sun. It doesn't mean we can't know anything about the center of the sun. We just have to be a bit more clever in our analysis than Hovind's kindergarten-esque reasoning allows.
Lastly, we have what is called microevolution. This is changes within the kinds. Now, that one happens. I'll go along with number 6.
Well, that's confusing, because if a large change can be obtained by a series of small changes, and Hovind accepts that small changes can happen, then it seems like Hovind would also accept that large, macro even, changes can also happen.
But the first 5 are purely religious. That's not science. We never observe any of those.
Ah, yes. Apparently the entire fields of cosmology, astrophysics, and origins of life are non-scientific fields. Tack on those colors, boys. Hovind has declared us a religion. But seriously, I'd love to debate Hovind on the facts here. In fact, I did debate Hovind on his call-in show a few years ago on the question of the age of the Earth. However, when I brought up the creationist killer, uranium, lead dating, and zircon, he mumbled about how he wasn't familiar with the topic enough to have a debate and that he'll get back to me. Then he hung up and never got back to me. And before anyone asks, as far as I know, he never posted this anywhere, and I don't have a copy of the call, so you'll just have to take my word on it. Anyway, isn't it funny that one of the most notorious young Earth creationists in the world doesn't know about the smoking gun piece of evidence for a billions of years old Earth? Sounds like a liar or a lunatic to me.
And I've learned how to win the debate on evolution in the first 5 minutes.
This will not go well.
Somebody says, do you believe in evolution? This is it. And I've learned how to win the debate.
Not to pause you thinking. Did you notice the way he was talking? And now I know how to end it. Now listen, we're gonna have some deep dives. I'm gonna start doing this stuff here. The little prism logo is in the corner. I can't do anything about that right now. If you want to help me to be to where you don't have to see that, then get at me in the comments and I'll show you how you can help me do that. But I'm not begging for anything. Let's get back to this show.
This is it, everyone. Regular viewers of this channel have been looking forward to this since the launch of Artemis 2 last week. The reaction from flat earther CC, Chris from New York, Westchester County. And it is a thing of beauty. Hello all and welcome along to another episode of Flat Earth Friday with me, Simon Dan. Thanks very much for joining me. So last week, Artemis 2 launched 4 astronauts to the moon, and we have covered an array of reactions already from the Flat Earth community. But the one I am sure you are all desperate to see is that from CC, the Flat Earther from Westchester County. We join him as ever in his work van as he begins to discuss the historic launch.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. CC here, Chris from New York, Westchester County. It's 4-2.
Yeah. Now we're gonna pause here for a second. I'm not knocking anybody, you know what I'm saying, because you know all of us are trying to make our digital footprint, right? I'm still trying to find my way. The most views I've gotten on videos, I have one on here with a duck that got into a tiger's cage, and I've gotten all kind of comments on that. You know, if I could have actually caught the tiger eating the duck, that probably would have really took it over the edge. But my camera died. You know, that was back before the advent of phones. That was a weird time. But notice how this guy talks. You know, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Which, coincidentally, if you know where that came from, put it in the comments. And if you stick around to the end of the live and now remember, I'll say it.
26. You know, it's funny. I was watching. Well, I didn't watch it in real time because I was still working. But I was just getting the highlights on the fake launch. You know, if you believe that. There's an interesting thing that Hollywood likes to use quite a bit, and I think we counted, I don't know, maybe during the launch while it was taking off, 12 edits, maybe 15 edits.
Now, he sees cuts and immediately thinks Hollywood. But that is just what happens during a live broadcast. Different cameras have different jobs. Pad cams, tracking cams, on-board cams, and then you've got your long-range lenses too. You're seeing multiple perspectives because they want to show you as much as they can. One camera alone cannot follow a rocket. It goes from still to supersonic, then it's gone. Switching cameras is so important to make sure you see all that you want to see.
Oh, you don't know what an edit is? Oh, let me give you an example of what an edit is. Can I? May I? Here. Edit. 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 Edit.
Okay, we get the picture, CC. We know what an edit is.
Edit. Edit.
Oh my word.
You see, during that editing process, so many things can happen. so much time could pass, and you don't know how much time exactly has passed.
There's a live mission clock though. The time since launch, always visible. If time jumped, then the clock would jump, but it doesn't, Chris.
However, in this case, it was a launch, right? Let's get into detail exactly what nonsense. First off, this launched off exactly.
This is it, everyone. Regular viewers of this channel have been looking forward to this since the launch of Artemis 2 last week. The reaction from flat earther CC, Crispin, New York, Westchester County. And it is a thing of beauty. Hello all and welcome along.
Since you believe Jesus is the Son of God,
okay,
show me one verse in the King James Bible where Jesus himself said he was the Son of God.
Are you...
Wait. That has to be rage bait. First of all, did you see the filter? What grown man has a filter like that on they on they? I might have some more on that. Let's get back.
Serious right now? Is this a joke? I mean, like satire? Am I being punked or something? Just one verse?
I'll wait.
Oh, you are serious? Okay. John 3:18, he that believeth on him is not condemned, but he that believeth not is condemned already, because he hath not believed in the name of this only begotten Son of God. John 5:25, verily, verily, I say unto you, the hour is coming, and now is, when the dead shall hear the voice of the Son of God, and they that hear shall live. John 10:36, say ye of him whom the Father hath sanctified and sent into the world, thou blasphemest, because I said, I am the Son of God. John 11:4, when Jesus heard this, he said, this sickness is not unto death, but for the glory of God, that the Son of God might be glorified thereby. And finally, Revelations 2:18, and unto the angel of the church at Thyatira write, these things saith the Son of God, who hath eyes like unto a flame of fire, and his feet are like fine brass. I mean, with love and sincerity, did you even attempt to read the Bible before making this video?
Now, let's talk about it.
And I'll keep going. In Matthew 8:29 and Luke 4:41, demons called Jesus the Son of God. In Matthew 14:33, the disciples called Jesus the Son of God. In Matthew 27:54 and Mark 15:39, a Roman centurion called Jesus the Son of God. Martha in John 11:27, Saul immediately after his conversion began preaching that Jesus was the Son of God.
Yes, he did.
I get so tired of people questioning my knowledge on the Bible.
I have no idea why anyone would want to question your knowledge of the Bible either, sir.
And the only people that ever questions my knowledge on the Bible are those that haven't read it for themselves.
Wow.
Because if you read the Bible, there's no way that you can be a Christian.
Well, I was hoping it would get better, but...
Turn your Bibles to Matthew chapter 1, verse 1. The book of the generation of Jesus Christ, the son of David, who's the son of Abraham. The son of David.
Okay, let me help you out.
Bro, you're doing a great job, but I need to interject right here. Let me put my glasses on so I can hear you. He said, Jesus, the son of David, who is the son of Abraham. If you have read any Bible, you see what's happening there. And I don't even know what my brother's about to say, but I know it's something good. But let me tell you what the Spirit is revealing to me. Has revealed is that was an abbreviation, because usually you hear Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? So when you consider who the writer was writing to, when he said son of David, then son of Abraham, you should have known that there was some stuff in between there.
To understand.
Since you believe Jesus is
crap.
and the only people that ever questions my the son of David.
Okay, let me help you out. To understand the Bible, you need. Well, I was hoping it would get better, but.
Turn your Bibles to Matthew chapter 1, verse 1. The book of the generation of Jesus Christ, the son of David, who's the son of Abraham.
It doesn't say who's the son.
The son of David.
Okay, let me help you out. To understand the Bible.
And then he didn't read the rest of it. It goes through giving the 42. Woo!
You need to understand linguistic context, meaning how words were used at that time with that group of people. In the Jewish context, to be the son of someone could mean that you're speaking to being of the same nature as that person. They could be a literal son, a spiritual son, a descendant. The context determines the meaning. Here, the context is clearly talking about Jesus being a descendant of David because Jesus' physical lineage is stated in verse 16.
But I digress. Let's go back to Jesus never one time said he was the son of God in the Bible.
He said it repeatedly, sir.
He has always said, I am the son of David.
At this point, I'm genuinely becoming concerned because King David lived literally 1,000 years before Jesus. Are you seriously suggesting that Jesus was the physical son of David?
I guarantee you can find at least 10 times in the Bible where Jesus said he's the son of David.
Actually, Jesus never once said that he was the son of David. Every instance of this phrase was by someone saying it about Jesus. Even in Mark 12 and 35, Jesus is quoting the scribes who said that he was the son of David. So no, your assertion would be incorrect.
And here, go to the very last page of the Bible. In Revelation, the last page. And read the last page. And Jesus tells you he is the offspring and son of David and the offspring of the morning light, Lucifer. Revelation chapter 22 verse 16. I, Jesus, has sent mine angel to testify to you these things in the churches. I am the root and offspring of David.
So let's break it down. The root of David refers to Isaiah 11 and 1, which states, and there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of its roots. This is a messianic reference. This verse is saying that Jesus, according to his divine nature, is the ancestor or the source of David. And in his human nature, he is the descendant or the offspring of David.
And the bright and morning star, which is Lucifer.
No, it's not. In the Jewish context, the morning star signaled the end of night and the dawn of a new day. The verse is saying that Jesus signals the end of the darkness of night and the dawn of God's new day. The star was a common Hebrew figure of the expected Davidic king as seen in Numbers chapter 24, verse 17.
That means that Lucifer is a woman.
What? Again, what grown man? Okay, I have had something on my shirt this whole time. Okay, moment of transparency. When I first got Snapchat, right, I was dating my wife, and I was playing with filters, doing goofy stuff to make her laugh. And it was really over the top, like face full of makeup and stuff like that. But it was only for her eyes. You understand what I'm saying? I was being real goofy. But what grown man seriously makes a video, and the quality of that video is quite bad, I might add. What? Are you using your phone, sir? Or are you using a high 8 video and then taking that and transporting it into your computer? That's the only way you would be smart, because everything that you're saying in here is completely stupid. It has to be rage bait. It's got to be rage bait. It's got to be. It's got to be.
Wow. You know what? That's a Bikram yoga stretch.
So many people believe that Isaiah chapter 14 verses 13 through 14 are speaking about the fall of Satan, here called Lucifer. However, the context of the passage demands otherwise. Follow me. So, first, the term Lucifer comes from the Latin and means light bearer or morning star. In the Latin, it referred to the planet Venus, which was the brightest object in the sky except for the sun and the moon. Second, this was not originally intended as a name for Satan. The Hebrew word here is Hillel, which simply means morning star. It was never intended to be a name, but due to church fathers like Tertullian and Origen associating this passage with Satan, this became the overarching interpretation. In context, in Isaiah chapters 13 through 14, Isaiah is speaking prophetic judgments about the king of Babylon. This passage has absolutely nothing to do with Satan or the devil. In chapter 13, Isaiah prophesies the judgment of Babylon by the Medes. In chapter 14, the remnant of remaining exiles in Babylon begins to taunt Babylon. Verses 13 through 14 derive...
Hold up, let me do this real quick. Let's take this small break, and we're going to use this one. Give me 1 second. Let me check something else. All right. So we are back. Let's go back to this.
From a Canaanite story regarding the morning star who had attempted to rise high above the clouds and establish himself on the mountain where the gods assembled and take the place of the highest God, becoming ruler of the entire world. His attempts were thwarted and he was cast down into the underworld. The Israelite remnant used this story that they were aware of as an analogy and a taunt regarding the prideful aspirations of the king of Babylon. The King James Version that most of us know is the only translation to still include the word Lucifer. Practically every single translation of the scripture, including the modern King James Version, CSB, NIV, ESV, NLB, LSB, and the Amplified, use the words day star, shining star, or light bringer. The Amplified and Message translations even tell us that the passage is referring to Babylon and not Satan.
Come on.
You will not find where he says, I'm the son.
Stop right there. Stop right there, sir. Sir. Or
of God. You will find where Jesus says, I am the Son of Man.
Just like the title Son of David, the term Son of Man has multiple meanings. It's used to describe human beings like Ezekiel, who was called the Son of Man in nearly every chapter in the book of his prophecy. Jesus often used it to describe himself. This was Jesus' preferred title for himself. In fact, he used it 29 times in Matthew, 14 in Mark, 24 times in Luke, and 13 times in John. In the context in which Jesus is using it, he's demonstrating that he is the fulfillment of the messianic figure described in Daniel chapter 7, verses 13 through 14, which describes a ruler of heavenly origin who would reign over a universal and eternal kingdom.
You will not find where Jesus says, I am the Son of God.
Okay, bruh, I'm seriously starting to run out of balloons on this one.
You've all been hoodwinked.
My brother, with all due respect, you're in need of a lot more discipleship. I pray
Yes.
that you will connect with a local church.
Discipleship. Now I'm gonna disagree with you on this. He don't need discipleship. What he needs is a psychiatrist. Oh Lord, I tell you what this boy needs. Good God, can I hoop like my dad a little bit? I'm gonna hoop like my daddy, and then I'm put a little bit of me in there. Can't you see him? Good God Almighty. We think that this boy needs some discipleship, but I disagree with you right there. I think what he needs a touch. Good God Almighty, he needs a touch. He needs a touch. Wham! Let's go to the well, let's let them close it out.
Church, but most importantly, a local pastor or someone that could help you to read and understand the Bible better in its proper context. Much love.
All right, I like you. Not good enough.
Love that chicken from Popeye.
Because I don't. You know how we have black fatigue? There is, Loretta with the stuttering. You can tell I'm a preacher too. There is a what's the word I'm looking for? I'm searching for the word. I can't find it. There is such a bombardment of foolishness from the church that a lot of us are getting church fatigue. Yeah. Okay, listen. We're living in a day and time to where you have to be careful about what you do because stuff that we do now is being streamed, right? I can remember I was in my late teens playing at my dad's church, and there was a preacher, man. I'm talking about this cat could preach. I want to say L.W. Myers the Eighth, a preaching Negro. I'm talking about he could go get it, right? But not only could he preach, but he's a cool dude. You know what I'm saying? You know, not that serious. You know what I'm saying? Now when he preaches, he's serious. Let me tell you something this guy told me. When I was a young preacher, he said that when he studies to this day, he said that when he studies, the way that he studies is for every minute that he's going to be up, he needs to spend an hour studying. So if he's planning on being up for 45 minutes, he needs to be studying 45 hours in preparation. But this cat, it was at my dad's pastor's anniversary, and there was chicken in the back, and he said, well, we've had church. Now it's about time for us to get back here to this bird that has died that we may live. Now I'm not sure if that's exactly what he said, but that's the essence of it. Then he goes to singing, and my ignorant behind just went right with him. Take me to the chicken. Take me to the chicken. Now that was like in maybe 05-ish, maybe. Well before we had streaming at churches mainstream. Okay? So I'm sure now we're gonna get back to the video, but I'm sure that what they did was cute, right? But you gotta be careful, man.
Love that chicken from Popeyes. Love that chicken from Popeyes. Oh, love that chicken from Popeyes. They love that chicken. Love that chicken. Love that chicken. Love that chicken. Oh, they love that chicken. Oh, they love that chicken. Oh, they love.
Now, while they killing it, and I'm sure, listen, I'm sure it seems to be a youth conference. I'm sure that it's innocent, right? And I'm not coming at them. Please don't take it like I'm coming at them. I'm not. I'm just saying that we have to be careful. We have to be careful in this day and time. Because there will be some people that will take a little clip out of context. Hear me now. And that's not something that's just started. That's been happening since there was a camera and a way to edit. So somebody would take this and run with it. Now, I'm neither here nor there, okay? I'm neither for nor against this now, because like I said, they killing it. They killing it. The only way I would be really at them is if, yeah, I'm sure this says is at a Judah Jamboree. So I'm sure, because let me tell you something. You know that song by Kurt Franklin, You're the Only One, right? When I was a teenager, I took, now they took it as I ain't mad at you. So that shows you about cause I matter of fact, I did that when I ain't mad at you was still a thing, right? But I knew where it originally came from, A Dream, by El DeBarge featuring the sister, right? I don't know what her name is, I can't remember. But da-na-na-na-na, you are the only, right? You know, that was back before we was recording in church. So you know, I understand the creativity. I love it. You know what I'm saying? Love that chicken from Popeyes. You know what I'm saying? You know, I guess I just want the context. Let's keep looking. Maybe it's in there. Let's keep looking.
Chicken. Everybody clap your hands right there. Louisiana band. Louisiana band. Louisiana band. Louisiana band. Louisiana hot sauce. Louisiana hot sauce.
I don't know. Let's go to the next video.
Think Superman versus Omni-Man would be an insane battle, but it's not even.
Alright, so we got a little shift going on here. Alright? So, Omni-Man versus Superman. Let me tell you this. It's not even close. And if he says anything besides Superman manhandles any Viltrumite, you could take, okay, we're in what, the final season, I think, of Invincible. Yeah. Anyway, you could take all of them, all the remaining Viltrumites, which I think in the episode that we're in now is like 5 or 6 left, including Thrag. Superman would manhandle them, and it doesn't even have to be doggone old man Superman, the one with the gray hair around, where he kind of looks like Nolan. What they call, I forgot what they call him, Freedom Force Superman or something. I don't know. I'm not as big in the comics now as I was growing up. All right, but it's not even a contest. Superman wipes the floor. I would love to see that, Jackie. Let's go.
Close, and I'll be breaking down every brutal reason why, starting with where they come from, because origins shape everything. Superman was born as Kal-El on the distant planet Krypton to scientists Jor-El and Lara. As Krypton faced imminent destruction due to a natural planetary catastrophe, its core becoming unstable, Jor-El built a small spacecraft to save his infant son. Moments before Krypton exploded, Kal-El was...
Okay, we all know the origins of Superman, okay? So no doubt, and I'm gonna let this play out, no doubt he's using this as a point of reference for wherever he's coming from. Let me tell you something. There is one way. There is one way, right? So let's just say random encounter. That's just something that we use in this ethos. But bump prep time, okay? Because Viltrumites don't know nothing about prep time. They don't know nothing about prep. The only thing they know is that's all that they know. All right? The only way that they would get Superman would be if Lex Luthor managed, watch this, managed to tell them about kryptonite, right? That's the only way.
placed in the craft and sent to... He crash-landed near Smallville, Kansas, where he was found and adopted by a kind farming couple, Jonathan and Martha Kent. They named him Clark Kent and raised him as their own, full of hope and justice. He's not just a product of alien biology, he's the ultimate embodiment of nurture over streamlinedness. They later began sending lone Viltrumites to infiltrate and weaken worlds from within in preparation for eventual conquest. Nolan was sent to Earth under the false pretense of being a benevolent protector.
We don't know who this is, or if they're friendly or not.
You don't look like you're from around here.
My government sent me here to help protect.
On Earth, he assumed the identity Omni-Man and became a superhero, even marrying a human woman, Debbie Grayson, and fathering a son, Mark Grayson, who would later become invincible. While he genuinely developed some attachment to Earth and his family, his true mission was always to prepare Earth for Viltrumite rule. This hidden agenda leads to a dramatic and violent revelation, particularly when Mark comes of age and develops power of his own. That ideological contrast is the core difference. Superman is the protector of Earth in every aspect. He is meant to embody ideals of hope, peace, and justice, while Omni-Man represents conquest and the expansion of an empire, hiding his dark secret until the right moment. But this isn't their only big difference. Superman is so far beyond strength that it's sometimes hard to measure without context. For instance, a more abstract feat would be when he enters the metaphysical realm to confront destiny itself. The Book of Destiny is planet, something that would require literally quintillions of tons of force. These aren't just flukes of freakish strength either. No Superman is able to keep those feats going consistently, like when he endured the intense gravitational stress test near the sun, lifting Earth mass simulators for 5 days straight. Most impressively is the time he contained a black hole with his bare hands, showing that his strength isn't just limited to lifting heavy things. Omni-Man's feats of strength are far more quantifiable, contained within a level of realism. He took on the Guardians of the Globe, brutally killing what equates to a discounted Justice League all on his own. Things Superman vs. Omni-Man.
I knew it. That's why I didn't watch it. That's why I fast forwarded through there. Oh boy.
Well, I am the bee in there, Goober.
I don't know.
So let me get this
Let's
straight.
go. Let's
you
go.
still believe these people are in outer space right now, heading to go around the moon?
I mean, yeah.
First of all, at the time of me seeing this video, they're back. That didn't age well. In one of these lives, I'm going to go through because I have a collection. Let me show you something. I have a collection of videos, right? I have a collection of LOL videos. I have a collection of WTF videos. I have esoteric everything. So that's going to be part of what we're going to do here. And you see me keep looking. I'm always looking around my surroundings. I'm just like that. I'm not reading a script. These will be completely unscripted. All right. So let's keep going. Let's get back to the foolishness.
I kind of believe it, but I guess there's things I don't understand, and you have a jar of milk, which definitely builds ethos with certain audiences. So let's see what you have to say. I got my shirt on. I'm ready to go.
Why are the two photos they shared of Earth pretty much the same?
I know. Some people might call this misdirection.
She asks why they're the same, because they're the same picture. If I'm not mistaken, now I might be dumb. Let's see what Homeboy says. But if I'm not mistaken, those are the same exact pictures with different exposures. I'm not gonna say same exact picture, but of the same thing that's happening, right? You get that. I hope you get that. I hope you get that. Let's go.
In the form of a rhetorical line of reasoning, where we lead our audience down one avenue of questioning when in reality there's a much more productive and pertinent question that needs to be asked. The question, are the clouds the same, has a pretty clear answer. Yes, they are pretty much the same. But the question that we should be asking is, are these actually the same picture? And you can just go to NASA and look. I found those pictures on NASA's website, and one of them was posted on April 2nd, and the other one was posted on April 3rd, but clarifies that it was taken on April 2nd. And on the original, it advertises it as one was taken during the day and one was taken at night. But NASA doesn't say that on any of these photos. One of them just shows the backlit dark side of Earth. The other one, which is pretty much the same, is taken at a different exposure. So I just picked a couple of clouds in the ocean. You zoom in on those.
Wow. Let me see something. Claude, talk to me. We're gonna talk to Claude today. All right, so now you see what I just said. I said first thing, I don't want to say anything, but there's a scripture that says out of the mouth of two, three. Okay, Deuteronomy 19. Let's let Claude read it to us. What? Second Corinthians. Okay, so I'm coming to you, flat earthers, right? Me and this guy don't know each other. The one that's in the video. I told you that there was different exposures. He said the same thing. We never met. I didn't hear what he said. But I'm watching these videos for the first time with you. These particular ones, I'm just scrolling through. I'll let you know if I've seen the videos before, right? Okay, so nothing is funnier to me than people who's trying to sound smart, but they're go, sir. just believe that these people are doing stuff and saying stuff and making these videos explicitly for views, right? I gotta believe that because I just cannot bring myself to believe that mankind is this stupid. Remember when I was saying earlier about there not being like video cameras in these churches and everything, you know, in everybody's churches? I am truly a believer that in putting a device in everybody's hands that has the ability to broadcast to the world, I think that's the reason why we have the algorithm, you know, and maybe that's why some of my stuff is not being pushed out to everybody because my ideas are freaking stupid. But anyway, let's go. Whoa. All right, so this portion is going to be complete comedy. This guy is funny as I don't know what. Let's go. Oh my God. I hope, Lord, I hope that the Be Right Back screen is not still up. Wait a minute. Whew. Boy, I was afraid there, but yeah, all that is